Coming up on this week's edition of the Sports Desk, area high school football teams are focused on that league title. West is trying to keep the heat on North. The Warriors visited South. Danny Miskell has that story. As for North, they were getting 10 kinds of nasty on Centennial. And in high school girls volleyball, South visited West on senior night. Cedric Welton has the 4-1-1 on that match. Plus, Anthony Scott has the inside scoop about the Torrance and El Camino College volleyball programs. Get ready, Torrance. The Sports Desk begins right now. Welcome, everyone, to the only sports show designed with the Torrance sports fan in mind. This is the Sports Desk. Thank you so much for joining us. I am your host, AJ Vittone, and before we get to the big stories of the week, let's do this. As always, remember to share your videos, photos, and story ideas with us on social media. And don't forget to use the hashtag TheSportsDeskTV when posting. Hit us up and let us know what's going on, and we'll put you and your videos on the show. We promise. All right, it's finally here, that part of the high school football season where things get, let's just say, interesting. In the words of hip-hop artist Cardi B, and I quote, "Look, I don't dance now, I make money moves," end quote. And that's exactly what's happening now in the Pioneer League. Teams are making money moves. West High School, for example, is one of those teams trying to keep the heat on North, and recently the Warriors were visiting another Pioneer League school, the Spartans of South High. And this is where Sports Desk reporter Danny Miskell picks up our story.
Fresh off their win against Centennial, West has proven that they've once again gained their momentum as they rain down terror on South in tonight's game. West prepared to shut South down without any resistance. 2 minutes into the first quarter, their offense already coming down hard. Junior quarterback Brandon Poffenbarger pairs up with senior wide receiver Max Parrish to score the first 6-yard rushing touchdown.
As a team, we came in with a game plan, and Coach said the key was just to execute it, and that's what we did, so came out with the result that we wanted.
South has the ball on their 20, and look at this impressive play right here. Senior Cole Kutch, he kicks a 57-yard field goal right through the center, brings the score 7-3. West fires back immediately. Senior running back Gus Eckert goes in with a 3-yard rushing touchdown, finishes the exciting first quarter 14-3.
I thought our offense was moving really fast, which is a thing we've been working on. I'm really proud of them for that. Our run game was also pretty solid. I feel like we have to work on it up in the middle, but I thought we were pretty solid overall.
We started off really well, and when you start off, real crisp and everything, you play off the enthusiasm. So I thought the guys played hard, and we played the game the right way.
From the second quarter on, the Warriors unleashed their terror, starting with Parrish, who brings the score 21-3 with this 18-yard touchdown reception.
That was like a screenplay, and I got the ball, and I looked in front of me, and I saw my lineman blocking for me. They did a great job tonight, and I just made some plays and got in the end zone.
Only a minute later, senior quarterback Venture O'Neill turns on the Jets, and look at him just take off down the sideline with this 52-yard run touchdown. 4 yards on the play, second down and 6. Poffenbarger sees Parrish open, and the pass is complete, bringing the score 35-3.
In the beginning of the year, we were making a lot of mistakes on offense, turning the ball over, making mistakes, just like stupid penalties. But our key has been trying to clean that up and just become more physical. And I feel like we're getting there. We're a really young team, and I feel like we're getting where we want to be right now. We're hitting stride.
Poffenbarger sees senior Dutch Silver Lake in the end zone, and the pass is complete. 13-yard touchdown reception. Then into the fourth quarter, West blocks a punt and then takes the ball 19 yards for the return touchdown, bringing the score 48-3. These aggressive plays were exactly what Coach Holt had been pushing for them to execute.
Had some serious meeting times in the sense that, hey, do you guys want to do this or not? I mean, do you want to come out and practice hard? Do you want to improve the little things that are going to make us better? Because the scheme is okay. We're just missing blocks here, we're missing blocks there, and we're not executing. The ball might be thrown behind the shoulder instead of in front of the shoulder. So we're starting to put those pieces together.
Senior Samson Kawaya manages to score a touchdown for South under a minute left in the game. Final score 48-9. West takes the W, which is a turning point in league play, now bringing them to 2-1. West can take control of their destiny. They are now currently tied with Lusinger and Torrance in second place. With North on the pace that they've been on, Warriors just need to win their final 2 games of the season.
We're going to face a real serious football team next week in Lusinger, and then of course we have Torrance after that. And we're just one game at a time. We're trying to get better each week, and that's what we were talking about.
We're definitely going to focus on being more physical and staying competitive, especially with our line up front, because that's the most important thing that sets up everything else. And yeah, North was a little hard, but we're going to come back stronger, and we're going to come back more physical.
Well, the Warriors are on a winning streak, but will there be a third win in next week's game against Lusinger? They're not going to get too ahead of themselves, and you heard it from the coach. West is focusing on taking it one game at a time. Reporting from Spartan Stadium, I'm Danny Miskell for the Sports Desk.
Danny, thank you. As Danny stated, with the victory over South, the Warriors are now 2-1 in league play. Next up for West, a home game against visiting Lusinger, who just happens to be one of the schools West is tied with for second place. Very interesting. All right, the team everyone is chasing, North, played a game recently that was over with before the singing of the national anthem. Well, at least it appeared that way. Let's just say the Saxons threw everything but the kitchen sink at Centennial High School, and assuming they actually threw the aforementioned kitchen sink, they might have actually broken the century mark. Yeah, it was that kind of game for the Saxons, and they were just throwing salt in the game. Check this out. It's homecoming 2017 for the North High Saxons. It's time to tear that banner to shreds. Although, how ironic, they would do a better job tearing Centennial to shreds. Saxons waste no time. Opening drive of the game. They're already in the red zone thanks to Sean Segala's scramble. And then this time, Segala hands off to Saeed Galloway. And he just waltzes his way into the end zone. And just like that, it's 7-0 North. Minutes later, Segala keeps it himself this time, barrels his way into the end zone, and now it's 14-0 Saxons. And most people haven't even sat down yet following the national anthem. Fasten your safety belts. This game was played at breakneck speed. Apache's punting now. And check this out. Oh! Well, that didn't work. Justin Golembiowski with a sick block on the punt attempt, and now he's in the end zone. North just piling it on at this point. Second quarter, more of the same. Makai Jordan in at QB now, and he finds Bo McGlinty in the back of the end zone, and Bo knows touchdowns. That was an 80s reference, by the way. We should be showing you these highlights and fast forward accompanied by Benny Hill music. It was that kind of game. And check this touchdown pass out here, this time to Brandon Livingston. Wow, it was 55-0 Saxons at the half. Even the homecoming king and queen finalists scored touchdowns in this game. North wins easily by the final of 62-0. You have to be a certain age to remember Benny Hill. There you have it. It was a huge shutout victory for North. The Saxons are now 3-0, undefeated in league play. Next up for them, a meeting with league foe and fellow city rival Torrance High School. And speaking of the Tartars, they dropped a Pioneer League contest to Lusinger High School by the final of 20-7. Oddly enough, with the loss, the Tartars are in a three-way tie for second place with both Lusinger and West. And congratulations are in order for Bishop Montgomery head coach Ed Hotchkiss. Coach notched his 50th career win at Bishop High. That is awesome. Knights grabbed their first win of the season with a 26-18 home victory against first place St. Bernard. Sophomore Matthew Cortez was 8 for 23 with 137 yards and a touch. With the win, the Knights are in a three-way tie for second place in the South Catholic League. Next up for Bishop, they're back at home to entertain Bosco Tech. After reaping the benefits of home cooking in their homecoming, the El Camino College football team was hoping to start another win streak. Heading into their recent contest with Mount San Antonio, the Warriors scored 298 points in their first 6 games, but look at this, the Warriors were held under 20 points for just the second time this season, not to mention they didn't find the end zone until the opening play of the fourth quarter. Despite their 32-18 conference loss, quarterback Cole Clayman was 18 for 39 for 289 yards and a touch. Next up for Elko, they'll return to the friendly confines of Murdoch Stadium to host Riverside. We turn our attention to high school girls volleyball now. That's where the Spartans of South High find themselves sitting atop the Pioneer standings. One of the teams right behind them in second place happens to be West High School. Recently, the Warriors hosted the Spartans on their senior night. Sports Desk reporter Cedric Welton was there, and he has more on this Pioneer League showdown.
It's senior night. We're all set for Pioneer League action as the West Warriors welcome the South Spartans to girls volleyball action. Both teams interplay with strong league records, both at 5-1 and coming off respective win streaks. This should be an exciting matchup. These two teams entered Wednesday night evenly matched. The early sets showcased how good both teams were, with big plays stemming from both sides. With both schools lobbying for Pioneer League supremacy, head coach Robert Kloosh and senior captain Lizzie Smith talked about the matchup.
The first time we played them, we didn't play our best match. We ended up losing in 5. And tonight there was a couple of points where I thought we were going to break down like we did the first time, and they showed they fought back. They didn't make the same mistakes as last time and found ways to win.
Last time we played West, the outcome wasn't in our favor, and this time we knew we had to pull out this win. We came out strong, we fought hard, and then third game was a little lull on our part, but fourth game we really fought hard back, and it was really good to grind out that win.
The Spartans are led by their senior captains, although their recent surge in play can also be attributed to the astonishing play of junior Lauren Walsh. Walsh is having a stellar season and leading the team in kills. I spoke to Lauren Walsh about her progression this year.
I left off a really good club season. I think that's really made a difference. Great coaching, did really good. So I kind of brought that, I kind of took us level up, and I'm working out a lot. Our coach got us a personal trainer this year. It's been tough, but it definitely shows when I'm in the game and not as tired and I'm more energized.
The Spartans jumped to an early lead, starting the matchup 2-0. The Spartans didn't just want a road victory, but to keep their win streak alive. Coach Kloosh and Lizzie Smith elaborated.
One of our goals at the start of the year is to win a league title, and for a while we struggled in the preseason, didn't have as much success as we'd like, but we kind of refocused before league and said, hey, we can still achieve this goal. After we lost to West the first time, we had to refocus again. Hey, we can still achieve this goal. So it feels really good to get there now.
The last year we had a really long win streak. This year we weren't as lucky, but we started a streak and we're really pushing hard to finish it and finish the season strong, because it's taken a lot of hard work and we're now seeing results.
In the end, the Spartans seized control of the Pioneer League with the top record and defeated the Warriors in the matchup 3-1. I had the chance to speak with Lauren Walsh and Coach Kloosh about what it takes to keep this recent play up.
It's just keeping the energy. A lot of times we get down, you could see the runs that West kind of came. So when we keep our energy and focus on that next side out, we're ready, and that's what he keeps letting us know.
Stay disciplined, right? When we're disciplined, we make plays easier, and sometimes when we get a little undisciplined, we got arms flying all over the place, bodies flying all over the place, and we lose our focus together. When we're disciplined, everybody knows where they are, everybody knows where they're supposed to go. It's an easier game.
As you heard Coach a moment ago, preaching discipline is what got his girls to W today as they move to 6-1 in Pioneer League play. Reporting from West Torrance, I'm Cedric Welton for the Sports Desk.
Thank you for that report, Cedric. It was senior night at West High School, and senior night is always a special time of the year for obvious reasons. And Cedric Welton asked players from this game to tell us what was special about this senior night.
It was very happy. Like, I heard people scream my name, and I was really pumped up. It felt nice with the music and everything.
We had a lot of supporters tonight. Like, it's not usual that we do, and it was very nice to have all the support and love from West.
4 years ago I was like, senior night, that's so far away, and then tonight we walked in here, I was like, it's finally here. It's really fun to play against my friends at West who are seniors and to play with my friends that are seniors, and it's a really fun environment because it's competitive, but it's really friendly.
I've grown up with all these girls from West. We're all really close, so it's nice to see everyone on senior night. And they came out playing hard. They beat us last time, and so I think there was a big rivalry. And senior night just kind of pumped it up a little more.
You just reflect on senior night for me and the way this environment atmosphere was.
Special group. Gotten very close to all of them. I've coached them in club. I've coached them in high school. Some of them have been assistant coaches with me in club. They're all the same age as my son, so there's a lot of these girls I've known, through elementary school and middle school. So it's a real close-knit group, and I'm going to miss them a lot.
Good stuff, Cedric. All right, the Tartars of Torrance High, just like West, are tied for second place in the Pioneer League, right behind South. The Tartars are having an impressive season, boasting a 14-9 overall record. Recently, Torrance was visiting another Pioneer League opponent, the Saxons of North High School. First set of the match, Torrance already up big 14-3. Watch North senior Aaron Green set up fellow senior Lacey Gallagher for the massive kill, one of her team high 8 kills. North down by 10 now. Tartars answer right back though. Senior Allie Grelly with a nice kill of her own right there. Tartars lead 15-4. Saxons trying to fight back in this one. Keep your eye on McKenna Madison at the front of the net. She will tap it over for the score. Right there, nice point. Saxons trail 22-9 though. Very next play, on the other side of the net, check out Torrance senior Elizabeth Truman. She will have, coming up right here, what one would call the stuff dreams are made of. Sick block at the net, 23-9 Tartars. Truman doing the serving now, and that's going to be your game point. Tartars win the first set 25-9. They go on to complete the 3-zip sweep. If you're wondering why the Torrance High School girls volleyball team are so good this season, we think we know one of the main reasons why. The head coach, Sports Desk reporter Anthony Scott, explains.
Rochelle Squire is in her 4th season as the Torrance High School volleyball coach, and the Tartars have done nothing but improve. Now at 10-8, Torrance is playing their best volleyball, but it hasn't always been smooth sailing for Coach Squire and the Tartars.
I really like getting people excited about volleyball. Volleyball is a sport I love when it's played well. I like playing really good volleyball. And so I think getting girls excited about that is, I think, the best part. And just seeing them grow as like women.
When Coach Squire arrived at Torrance 4 years ago, the Tartars had a streak of 7 consecutive losing seasons. Rochelle Squire knew she had her work cut out for her.
I knew that they were struggling, but I also think that that doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad. I am not a coach that thinks that bigger always wins games. I mean, I was a 5'8.5" outside hitter at a D1 college. I would say my coaching style is fun but stern.
It's very like laid back, but at times like when we're like messing around and stuff, she tends to be like very stern and like hard on us.
Coach Squire had a marvelous playing career, earning second-team honors at Portland State and even playing professionally in France. Now she brings some of that French flavor into her coaching style.
Over there is a lot different. My coach didn't speak any English, so I learned body language and I learned how to like interpret things. I think one of the things that maybe I do a little differently than other coaches is I don't always tell them what to do. I often ask them questions and get them to find their own answers, because you're not always going to have someone yelling at you from the sidelines telling you exactly what to do.
We were actually, us as seniors, we were her first group of freshmen, so we've been able to grow with her and have her as a coach.
I think the team goal was to go back to CIF and secondary to beat South. I don't know if this statistic is true, but the girls say that Torrance hasn't beaten South in 15 years.
We planned on hopefully like putting up a better fight against South and maybe winning, but unfortunately we did not.
This year, just like getting into CIF, like definitely bettering my team.
Now they're really focused on the CIF goal and winning a game and going farther than last year, which I think is, you know, what they want to do. They want to be better. They want to make their mark on this program, and I think some of them already have. But I think collectively as a team, they want to be the team that people remember as, you know, the change in Torrance.
The Torrance High School volleyball team has gone from 10 straight losing seasons to the top of the league. With Coach Rochelle Squire committed to rebuilding this program, the Tartars seem to be in great hands moving forward. Reporting from the Torrance Gymnasium, I'm Anthony Scott for the Sports Desk.
Thank you, Anthony. One can safely say the Knights of Bishop Montgomery ran into a buzzsaw recently, and that's because Bishop hosted the top team in the Del Rey League, the undefeated Lancers of LaSalle High School, who were riding an 8-game win streak heading into this one. It was senior night at Bishop Montgomery High School. Leanna Garcia is one of the seniors being honored during the special ceremony. Carolyn Vimoso, another senior, saying goodbye after a stellar career. Congratulations to all the seniors from Bishop. Job well done, ladies. All right, we move on to the actual game against the undefeated Lancers of LaSalle. Knights getting all jacked up for their final home game, pictured here. First match, Bishop trailing by 9. Senior Andrea Mancia will be slamming at home on senior night. Knights cut the Lancers lead in half at 16-8 now. Remember to watch K9 Corner right here on Torrance City Cable. Shameless plug! How dare I? Bishop dropped the first set 25-13. Second set, things getting interesting. Bishop only down a point, and that's when senior Carolyn Vimoso hits the kill switch. And just like that, we're all tied up at Sweet 16. Score tied at 17 now, and once again, it's Vimoso with a little dipsy-do move. Too much mustard on that one. Knights take the lead 18-17. But the Lancers are undefeated for a reason. Watch this sick volley right here. It'll end up with LaSalle senior Victoria Ashkinos with a little trickery. The soft touch right there dropping in. LaSalle would win easily in 3 straight sets, spoiling Bishop's senior night and improving to 7-0 in league play. Elsewhere in high school girls volleyball, Ambassador defeated Summit View West by the final of 3-0. The Lions now occupy second place in the Mulholland League, and they'll be gunning for a playoff berth when they take on Pacific Lutheran in an upcoming match. And speaking of Ambassador High School, senior Alyssa Bobich on the volleyball team, number 8 in this video right here. She's the one closest to the screen. Alyssa scored the highest possible ACT composite score of 36, which is awesome for a student athlete. Less than 0.1% of students in this country earn that score. As a result, she is a state finalist for the Wendy's High School Heisman Award. Congrats to Alyssa, that is awesome. All right, college volleyball now. The Elko women never trailed in this one, sweeping 3 straight from Pasadena. The win improves the Warriors to 13-4, 3-1 in league play. Iko Waters led the way with another double-double, finishing with 13 kills and 11 digs. Jalen Motley added 8 kills and 10 digs. And speaking of the aforementioned Waters and Motley, they are largely responsible for El Camino's success this season. This dynamic duo is truly unique for several reasons, and if you're wondering why they're so darn good, well, SportsDesk reporter Anthony Scott has the answer.
El Camino sophomores Jalen Motley and Iko Waters are having historic seasons for the Warriors volleyball team. With 178 kills, Jalen Motley ranks first in the South Coast Conference, and her teammate Iko Waters is right behind her in second with 172 kills. El Camino's 1-2 punch is a big reason why they have been ranked in the top 15 all season long.
Jalen Motley and Iko Waters have been doing a great job for us. Both of them were starters for us last year as freshmen. So now this year it's really nice to have that leadership and consistency on the court.
I had an idea that we were at the top of our conference and leading. I keep track of it, and me and Iko are pretty close. So I always kind of have like a competitive mindset that I want to try to beat her.
You normally have one really good hitter, not 2.
And how does that affect your job? How much easier does that make it?
It makes it way easier because I know that in every rotation I have a really good hitter to count on.
People can't really change their lineup and stack their best blockers on one of our hitters because we have 2 big hitters. So you need to have more blockers out there, and then the better they do, it opens up our other hitters.
However, it's not as easy as it sounds. There is a lot of trust that has to be gained in order for a setter and hitter to become a lethal combination.
When I see the ball come over the net, I look to the passer first to see if they're going to get there. And then they get a perfect pass. I run in, and I will normally set the outside to Jalen or Iko.
I'm ready. Like I'm like, set me. I'm ready. I know I'm gonna kill it. So yeah, I make her so we can trust. You know, I have to give her that trust that I can do it. So
Jalen's got a little height on Iko, and Iko jumps out of the gym. So where they contact the ball is different. Jalen's a little more finesse, and Iko's a lot of power, super dynamic.
She definitely pushes me to try to like be a better back row player because she's amazing with digging. So it's like I want to be up there with her. So I try my best.
yeah,
She pushes
she
me
helps
for
me
that.
a lot with body language and like attitude and stuff like that. I look to her for that.
Finishing at the top of your conference alongside your teammate would be a great accomplishment, but Jalen Motley and Iko Waters have their eyes set on a bigger prize.
They finished 3rd in state last year, and they know they lost in the semis. They know that feeling. So their goal is to kind of go a step further, which hopefully would be to win state.
To get back to the state, I think we need to do a lot of defensive work. We run our offense really well, and our offense does win us a lot of games, and our defense is awesome, but I think I think everyone can grow and be better defensively.
They may have some work to do if they want to reach the Final Four for the 2nd year in a row, but Motley and Waters just seem to enjoy the feeling of putting kill after kill away.
Oh, it's the best feeling.
That's the best.
It's the best feeling ever.
It's the best. You just feel like you can literally be anywhere and like do anything. Like you feel like you're jumping so high. It's just
we don't have that pressure. So like when we're dominating, we're just dominating.
The Warriors rely heavily on Jalen Motley and Iko Waters, and the sophomores have stepped up to the challenge. Their competitive spirit has pushed each other, and Motley and Waters have become the two best hitters in the South Coast Conference. Reporting from the El Camino Gymnasium, I'm Anthony Scott for the Sports Desk.
We turn our attention to high school girls tennis now. The season is winding down, and the Saxons of North High hit the road recently to visit their crosstown rivals, the Tartars of Torrance High. As Sports Desk reporter Cedric Welton explains, the Saxons are on a win streak right now, and they're hoping to keep it that way.
The North High Saxons are led by their captain and #1 singles player, Alyssa Lassou. She told me what she does daily to prepare for her matchups.
Coming into each game, outside of tennis here, I practice with my brother at least 2 hours a day, and I just try to condition as much as possible and try to play as much games as I can here.
The game of tennis to most is an individualist sport. However, both of these clubs rallied around each other from start to finish. I spoke with Alyssa Lassou and Torrance senior Daya Palau on how they're vocal leaders for their teams and the message they give their teammates.
Being a leader for these guys is just really great. They actually motivate me more than I motivate them. They push me to do my best, and they just keep a positive vibe around me. I'm so lucky to have them and be their captain.
Each day is to just get out there and play our best. No matter what the score is, we press restart and we go on. We push through.
The sun was shining and the action was intense, with the Saxons on a roll in singles and doubles action early on. North head coach David Carter spoke to me on what he says to inspire his players before matches.
Basically, take your time, hit your shots, and if things aren't going well, just extend the points a little bit until you start playing better. Our fight is getting better, and the better our fight is, the more we win.
And win is exactly what the North Saxons did this afternoon, extending their streak to 3 wins, defeating the Tartars 13-5. The Saxons' #1 singles player, Alyssa Lassou, won all 3 of her sets, while their #1 doubles players, Shannon Shinozaki and Tai Tonino, won their 3 sets as well. Reporting from North Torrance, I'm Cedric Welton for the Sports Desk.
Cedric, thank you. And while we're talking girls tennis, congratulations to the Bishop Montgomery team on winning their 12th straight Delray League title. They finished a perfect 12-0. Now that's what I call Delray dominance. All right, moving on to soccer now. It's pretty safe to say having a 4-game winless streak is far from fun. And if you're the El Camino College men's soccer team, there's nothing more you wanted to do recently than end this nightmare. The Warriors were back at Murdoch Stadium playing host to East LA College. First half, no score. That'll change. 26th minute, Zachary Franco feeds a wide-open Jason Santana, and he scores his team-leading 8th goal of the season. And now it's 1-0 Warriors. 45th minute now. This was weird. East LA player Salvador Alvarez coming up right here. He kicks it back to his goalie. Check this out. Who proceeds to kick it back to him. Whoopsie! Elko's Yushi Kato right there scores easily. What was the goalie thinking there? I don't know. Warriors go up 2-0. Yikes. El Camino goalie Cesar Amezcua made 3 saves on the day after facing 4 shots on goal. He did allow a goal in the 83rd minute, though, but it was too little too late for East LA. Elko snaps their losing skid. They win it by the final of 2-1. Well, that does it for this week's edition of the Sports Desk. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we appreciate your support. My name is AJ Vittone, and I've seen, heard, and said enough for 1 week. We'll continue this conversation again next week, I promise. Until then, don't forget to follow the Sports Desk on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And remember, you can email us as well. We'd love to hear from you. That's all the time we have, sports fans. We'll catch you next time, right here on the Sports Desk.